If you want to clear whatever the content which is present in the output display, if you want to clear that, we use the command clear. It will clear everything from the display and it will start from the beginning. I mean, like, you'll just get a clear page with the terminal, with the prompt. Now, uh, right now, after the installation yesterday, after the installation is completed, I shut down the server and again I brought it up. So as a result, the database will not be up and running. Whenever you shut down the server and you bring it up again, the database will be down. You need to bring it up manually. First, in order to check whether the database is up or not, we use a command ps-ef grep pmon. This command shows whether the database is up and running or not. ps-ef grep pmon. In the later classes, you'll know why I grepped with pmon. For now, just assume that this is a command which will show you whether the database is up or not. ps-ef grep pmon. So if the output of this command doesn't show anything, the command which I entered, the same output, I got the same output. That means the database is not up and running. You need to bring up the database. First, in order to connect to the database, you require three environmental variables. One is Oracle underscore SID. This is the instance name or database name. For now, it will be a database name, but in the future classes, you'll know exact difference between an instance name and a database name. So for now, instance or database name which you want to connect to. And then you require Oracle Home, location where you install the software. Then you require path, such that path will also have the value where Oracle binaries are stored. So Oracle binaries will be stored in a location Oracle Home followed by bin. So we need to add even this one into the path variable, such that whatever the utilities which are present in RDBMS software, those utilities you can use. The commands you can use it straight away. If you don't add this into the path variable, you have to go to that specific location and you have to invoke the utilities. If you don't want to do that, we will export the path variable to include RDBMS binaries too. So in order to include that, we use a command $path: Oracle Home /bin. So these are the three environmental variables which you require in order to connect to the database. First, these two variables are required to invoke SQL Plus. After that, this variable is required to connect to the database. Now, if you remember the database which we created yesterday, the database name is test, correct? So first, we need to set the environment to test database. That means we need to set Oracle SID to test. So we already know if you want to assign a variable, a value, if you want to assign a value to variable, we'll use a command export Oracle underscore SID equal to test. Then the other variable is home, export Oracle underscore home. So the location where we installed the software yesterday, it was /Oracle app Oracle product 1120/db1. This was the location where we install the software. And then path, export path equal to $path, that means to the existing path. Add $Oracle underscore home/bin. The moment I give $Oracle underscore home, this variable will be replaced with this value, because Oracle home has the value Oracle app Oracle product 1120/db1. So that is the reason why whenever you give $Oracle underscore home, it will be replaced with this value. Okay, so these are the three environmental variables which you require in order to connect to the database. So what we'll do, we will add these three variables into a file. I'll name that file as setDB. Now I wrote the content to the file. I'll save and exit. We have to execute the script. This is a setDB. This thing is like in Linux we'll have shell script. Shell script is nothing but a set of commands which will be enclosed in a file. Once you run the shell script, all the commands will be executed at once. So if you want to execute this file, you need to have the execute permission on this file. So let us go ahead and check whether we have execute permission or not. If you look at setDB, it doesn't have any execute permission. So you need to assign execute permission to this file. So chmod 744 setDB. I just want to give the execute permission to the owner of the file, who is Oracle. So that is the reason why I'll give it as chmod 744 setDB. Now, if you look at setDB, only the owner of the file has execute permission, not the group and others. Now we have to execute this script. In order to execute the script, the command will be dot space dot slash setDB. Dot means in the current directory there is a file called as setDB. So search it in the current directory and execute the script. To execute a script, the command will be dot slash followed by the file name and where this file is present in the current directory. And you already know dot means it's a current directory. So dot space dot slash setDB. Now if you want to check whether the commands are executed or not, we will do echo $oracle_sid. Okay, $oracle_sid is set to test. Echo $oracle_home. This will give the value of the variable. Okay, Oracle home is set to db1. Echo $path. If you look at the path, $oracle_home will be having the value Oracle app Oracle product 1120 followed by db1. Now, in order to connect to a database, we'll use a utility called as SQL Plus. Using SQL Plus, we'll connect to a database. If the database is up and running, we'll connect to test database. If the database is not up and running, we'll connect to an idle instance. So if I do SQL Plus, and let me tell you one thing. Sys in Oracle database, whenever you create an Oracle database, a user called as sys user will be created who will be a super user, and he is by logging in as sys user only you can start the database or you can bring down the database or you can change the structure of the database. So if you want to modify anything, you need to log in as sys user. For the database structural changes, you need to log in as sys user in order to perform those changes. So to log in as sys user, SQL Plus sys/oracle username/password. So if you remember when I was installing the Oracle software and creating the database, I use same password for all the accounts and I specified the password there. That password is for sys user and I specified the password as Oracle. So that is the reason why I'm giving SQL Plus sys/oracle. So login as sys user. But in Oracle database, whenever you are logging in as sys user, you need to specify as sysdba. Always sys user needs to log in as sysdba. He cannot just log in with username and password. By default, whenever you want to connect to a database, the command will be SQL Plus username/password. Like this, you'll connect to the database. But if you're logging in as sys user, you have to specify SQL Plus sys/password as sysdba. Always sys user needs to be logged in as sysdba. This is the only exception for this command. Whenever you're logging in as sys, you need to log in as sysdba. Now, Okay. The moment you invoke the SQL Plus utility, it will give you a banner which says what version of Oracle you are using. So if you see here, I'm using 11G 11201. 11201 means it's 11G release 2. This 2 stands for a release upgrade. 11 is a major upgrade and .2 will be a release upgrade. So this is 11G release 2 software. Okay. And then this RDBMS, then when did you invoke this SQL Plus? I invoked it on April 7 Sunday, 2:27 p.m. After that, it says connect to it to an idle instance. That means the database is not up and running. So you need to bring up the database. So to bring up the database, the command will be startup. In the future classes, I'll tell you what internally happens whenever you perform startup. But for now, just if you want to start a database, you need to connect to the SQL Plus first, and then you have to issue startup command. Okay. Once the output says database is open, it will give you a SQL prompt. It will give back the SQL prompt, and now here you can execute the commands in the SQL Plus prompt. But whenever you create Oracle database, by default there will be some dynamic views created on the database side. So some of the dynamic views are V database, V instance. These are the dynamic views which will be created whenever you create the database by default. So V database will give you the information about database name, when the database is created, next V instance will tell you whether the database is started or not, and also it will show you the host name, the host on which the database is started. So now if you want to know the name of the database and if you want to know when the database is created, first you have to describe this view. It's a dynamic view. We have to describe the view in order to check what are the columns present in this view. So to do that, we use a command desc describe. It's a shortcut or short form of describe. V database. This will show you the columns which are existing in this view. Describe V database. Okay, so there are so many columns which are present in this view. Now out of these columns, for now we are just interested in name of the database and when the database is created. Just we are interested in these two columns. So in order to get those two column values, we use a command called as select. Select is a command which is provided by Oracle in order to fetch the information from the tables. And within the select, you will specify what are the columns you want to fetch. What are the column values you want to fetch from the table. So here I'll go for select name, comma created. Then you have to specify from which table or from which you want to view the information. You want to fetch the data. So from space view name, V database. So if you see here, the name of the database is test and it is created on 6th April 2013. So VDOL database will give you the information about the name of the database as well as when it is created. In a similar way, if you want to look at how the VDollar instance is created, we will describe VDollar instance. Even this will have bunch of columns. Within this one, we are just interested in the host name and status. Select host underscore name, instance underscore name, and status from VDollar instance. So now, if you look at the output, it is not displayed in a correct format. If you look at this one, the host name is displayed in the first line, and then the rest of the columns were displayed in the second line. Correct or not? So it was not displayed in a proper order. If you look at this one, the two columns are displayed on the same line. But if you look at this one, the three columns are displayed on two lines. So you need to change how the output is displayed on the screen. So the reason why one of the column is displayed on one line and the rest of the columns are displayed on the other line is because of the line size. So in SQL Plus utility, you will have several parameters. One of that parameter is line size. So by default, the line size will be around 100 or 120 or 150. So because of that, it was not displayed. The rest of the values were not displayed on the same row. It displayed on the second row. So you have to change the line size. So to change the line size, the command will be set space line size space 300. That means on each and every line display 300 characters. Before it was maybe around 100 characters, but now I'm changing it as on each line display 300 characters. So this is the way we will change the line size. So set line size space 300. So now if I execute the same command again, select host underscore name, instance underscore name, status from $v instance. If you look at the output, it is displayed on a single line, the host name, instance name, and the status. So this is the way we can change the line size. Set space line size space value. How many characters you want to display on a single line. Any questions?
No questions, Mohan. I'm good.
Yeah, Mohan, I'm good.
So once you have the database up and running, if you want to exit from SQL Plus, we'll use the command exit. This will exit from SQL Plus utility and you will go back to Unix prompt. Now you are back into the Unix prompt. You can execute the Unix commands here. For example, if you are in SQL Plus utility, if I log in as this user, now if I want to execute the cp command or vi command, vi space setdb, it will not allow me to execute the Unix commands in the SQL prompt, because in the SQL prompt you can only perform the commands or you can only execute the commands which are SQL Plus specific. You cannot execute the Unix commands. If I do this one, it says unknown command because SQL Plus doesn't know what a VI does. Now, if you want to execute the Unix commands from the SQL Plus itself, then you have to specify a character called as exclamatory. Once you have the exclamatory mark, you can execute the Unix commands from the SQL Plus utility itself, from the SQL Plus command prompt itself. Actually, whenever you specify exclamatory, that means you're telling to execute the command as a Unix command. And then if you press an enter, it will open up the file. So from the SQL Plus itself, if you want to execute the Unix commands, you have to use exclamatory mark. Okay. Then to learn the SQL basic commands, we will use a user called as Scott. If you remember, when I was installing the Oracle software yesterday, I clicked on sample schemas tab and I made sure that sample schemas was selected. So whenever you select the sample schemas, some of the users will be created. One of them is Scott, and within the Scott schema, you will have some set of tables, EMP, department, and some other tables, such that you can perform some SQL basic commands on these tables. So to learn SQL basics, we will log in as Scott user into the Oracle database. So to log in as Scott user, you need to know what the password of Scott user is. So by default, whenever the Scott user is created, it is created with the password tiger. So you can log in into the database as Scott user using tiger password. But by default, the user account will be in locked state. You cannot log in into that account because the account status is in locked. So you need to unlock the account. Now, as you logged in as this user, you can unlock any other accounts. So to unlock an account, the command will be alter user username, which is Scott account unlock. You'll know what this command actually does in the future classes, but for now, to learn the SQL basics, we'll execute this command to unlock the account. Okay, now the user account is unlocked. After that, I will exit from SQL Plus. Now I'm into the Unix prompt. And if you remember, I said whenever you want to connect to the database, we need to export Oracle SID, Oracle Home, and path. Whenever you execute or whenever you export once in a session, that will be present for the whole session. Until you close this terminal, those values will be assigned to the variables. Say for example, if I do echo $_SID, still the value will be assigned to the variable. So whenever you assign the value to the variable, it will be a session specific. It will be there until you close this terminal. Once you close the terminal, the values will not be there. Okay. So that is the reason why once you exit from SQL Plus, every time you don't need to set those environmental variables. Until you close the terminal, once you set, you can reuse them. I mean, like it's already in use, so you can just connect to the database. Now, if you want to connect to the database as Scott user, the command will be SQL Plus Scott/tiger, and then just press enter. Okay. The moment you log into the database for the first time, it will ask you to enter a new password, because to provide security, by default everyone knows that the Scott user password is tiger. So that is the reason why Oracle doesn't recommend to use a default passwords. So the moment you log into the database, it will prompt you to set a new password for Scott user. If you want to change the password, you can specify any other password. Right now I want to go for the same one, which is tiger. So I'll just give it as tiger, and then I'll retype the password and then enter. That's it. So my password is set to tiger only. I haven't changed it. I just gave the same password. Now, when you log in as Scott user, you cannot describe $database and $instance. Only as this user, you can describe $database and $instance. Okay. To provide security, each and every user in the database cannot access all the tables. You will see that in the future classes again. But just remember that when you log in as Scott user, you cannot describe database and instance. So once you log into the database, if you want to know what as which user you logged into the database, the command will be show user. Show user is a command which will show you as which user you logged into the database. So if you see here, the user is Scott. So you logged in as Scott user. Then if you want to know what are the objects present under Scott schema, if you want to know what are the objects present under Scott schema, select star from tab. This will show you the objects which are present under Scott schema. Select star from tab. So this will give you the table names which are existing. This will just give you the table names or tables which are created under Scott schema, Scott user. So under Scott user you have 4 tables. One is EMP, the second is department, and the third is bonus, fourth is sal grade. So by using this command you will know what are the tables which are created under Scott user, and these were created as part of Oracle installation. By default it will create these tables. Now if you want to know, and you already know that a table is nothing but a collection of columns and rows. These are called as rows and these are called as columns. So columns is nothing but attribute. And rows are called as tuples. Now if you want to look what are the columns which are present in this table, you have to describe the table. So to do that we use a command DESC again. So DESC space table name. For example, if you want to look at what are the columns present in EMP table, we'll use a command DESC space EMP. This will show you the columns which are present in the EMP table. And not only that, it will show you what are the data types of each and every column. So I'll tell you what a data type is for now. If I describe EMP, so EMP has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. EMP number, E-name, job, manager, hire date, sal, commission and department number. All these are column names. And then these are the data types. Data types is nothing but it will specify what type of value a column can hold. For example, if you take EMP number, the data type of this column is number. That means EMP number column can have only digits, only numbers. It cannot have characters. And then if you look at E-name, it has varchar. That means it can hold characters. E-name column can hold characters. So data type is nothing but it will tell you what kind of values a column can store. Now by default or in Oracle, the most widely used data types are number, varchar2, char and date. These are the basic data types which are present in Oracle database. Coming to advanced, some advanced data types, there are long, glob, blob, and b file. First, a number data type can hold integers or can hold values, can hold numbers. So a number means it can be 10.2, it can be -1, it can be 0, or it can be 100, or it can be 100.5, something like that, 100.0, 0.5, 0.05. So all these type of values can hold in this data type number. And whenever you are, say for example, whenever you are assigning a data type to a column, for example, if I'm assigning a data type to a column called as EMP number. Now EMP number, I want to have the data type for this EMP number as number. Now you have to specify what will be the maximum number of digits you will be stored in this column. So within the brackets we will specify the value. For example, if I specify number of 5, that means it can store 5 digits, and that too it cannot hold any decimal values. It can just hold real, non-decimal numbers. So you can it can just hold natural numbers. Natural numbers, no, not only natural numbers, it can store values of 5 digits, but it cannot have any decimal values. That means it can store 1, or it can store 10,000, or it can store 20,000, or the maximum size it can store will be 99999, the maximum value it can store. Now if you want to store the decimal numbers too, you will specify 5 comma 2. That means within the length of 5 digits after the decimal you can have 2 values. That means 100.25. The maximum value which you can store will be 999.99. So by specifying the values inside the braces, you'll restrict how many digits you can store in this column. Okay, then this is a number data type. So either you can have non-decimal numbers or you can have decimal numbers. Next, the other data type is varchar2. First, before going to varchar2, we'll see what a char data type is. So by default, whenever you have a column with character data type, it can hold characters. It can hold a string of characters. It can hold an array of characters. That means if you want to specify, or if you want to store a string called as Mohan, or if you want to store a string called as Oracle, then you can have a column with this data type. So this data type can hold characters or an array of characters. Either it can hold O or it can hold Oracle. And even if you want to restrict what will be the length of characters you want to store on character data type, you can specify in char of 10 or char of 5. So char of 5 means at max you can store only 5 characters. So that means you cannot store Oracle string into this column. The reason is it can occupy only 5 characters. Okay. Now even varchar2 data type can hold characters or string of an array of characters. But the difference between char and varchar2 is whenever you are declaring a variable, whenever you are declaring a column with data type char of 5, that means by default whenever you're inserting a row or whenever you're inserting a value into the column, it will allocate 5 bytes of storage. The reason is, for one character you require 1 byte of storage in Oracle. In any of the language, in any of the programming language, by default one character requires 1 byte of storage. So that means if you're declaring char of 5, by default it will allocate 5 bytes of storage whenever you're trying to insert a value. For example, if I'm inserting a value called as MIT into this column, even though the column length is 3, that means even though you're inserting 3 characters, it actually occupies 3 bytes, but still, as the column data type is char of 5, these 3 characters will be stored in 5 bytes. As a result, 2 bytes of storage will be wasted. But with the varchar2, it's a variable character. That means even though you declare a column with varchar2 of 10, for example varchar2 of 5, it will not allocate, by default it will not allocate 5 bytes of storage for each and every column. It will see what value you are inserting into the column. For example, if you are inserting MIT, then it will not allocate 5 bytes of storage. It will only allocate 3 bytes of storage. Depending upon length of the string you are trying to insert into the table, it will only allocate that much of space. So that means the space will not be wasted if you declare a column with varchar.
I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
So suppose you say the care variable care data types is used for the like a particular 5 and the allocation 5 space, right? Correct.
Yeah.
The varchar is like knows 5 whatever 5, but whatever string like a 3 to take a 3. But suppose we are a type the string like a 9 characters. So how much they take the varchar?
No, it will not allow you to insert the value because the maximum characters it can hold will be 5.
Okay. Okay.
The same case with the char also. If you are trying to insert 5 characters, it will not more than 5 characters, it will not allow you to insert.
Okay, so what is like a strand, like a maximum and minimum strand in a character and varchar?
In both the cases, you can have 40,000 bytes. That means you can store 40,000 characters.
40,000 bytes.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not 40,000, 4,000. Let me erase that. And
Okay.
it's just 4,000.
4,000.
Okay? Yeah, it's
Okay.
just 4,000. It's
So-
not 40,000.
So what like in character we are using only for like a particular like a alphabetic and numeric. Also we are using the special character also in varchar.
No, you can use either alphabets or numbers.
We cannot use the like
Special characters. You can also use special characters. You can use whatever you want.
ASCII.
Yeah, you can
We
use
can do
anything.
that in
Yeah.
varchar, right?
Yeah, you can do that. You can have underscore, you can have dollar, you can have whatever you want.
No, I'm talking about the ASCII character. ASCII is like number. Like special, like like alter space, like 4-digit number something.
I don't.
It's not in a keyboard. The symbol is not in a keyboard like ASCII character.
But why you want to store that value into the table?
No, sometime like we like I look some database like before some look database they use some special character. I don't know, is it automatically? Yeah, maybe some special type this number. Like you know that somewhere like you see the like a database like in different like a different format, in not a keyboard, like a different format. So they how they come in inside.
Okay, that will be depend upon. Yeah, it will take the ASCII characters too, as you said. It will store the ASCII characters, but it will depend upon how the database is created. So,
Okay.
for example, let me show you that. I'll come back to you. Okay, once I complete this one, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, sure.
So there is a difference between a char and varchar2. So depending upon the length of the string you are trying to insert, it will allocate that much of size. So that is the difference between a char and varchar2. So if you don't know the length or if you don't know the values which will be inserted into the table, it's better to declare a column with varchar2. If you already know that the size of the column will be 5 or 7, by default the most of the values in the column will be 7 characters, then it's better to go for a char. For example, if you go for a VIN number, if you want to store automobile information, and if you want to have a table to store VIN numbers, the VIN number maximum it will be length of 11 characters, I guess. So you can just declare a char of 11. Instead of going for varchar, there you can go for char, because you know that the size of the column will be uniform. So it's better to go for char there. If you don't know the size, then it's better to go for varchar 2. The other data type is date. So if you want to store any date values, then you will use this date data type. For example, if you want to know when the employees hired into the company, so you want to have the date stored in that column. So you'll declare the column data type to be date. Then coming to long, as I said, the maximum length of characters char and varchar can hold is 4000 characters. So if you want to store more than 4000 characters, you cannot store it in varchar and varchar 2. So you have to store it in character lobs. Any value which is more than 4000 characters, you need to store it in glob. So this will allow you to insert more characters, and there is no restriction on the glob. So as far as I know, the maximum size you can use for glob data type is 4 GB. So you can insert a column with a size of 4 GB. So imagine how many bytes you can store. And not only that, even the glob data type, you can use it to store any files like PDF files and all those things. Even with blob, you can store any binary object. For example, if you want to store a binary data, for example, if you want to store a videos .flv files, or if you want to store audio files .mp3 files, you can use blob data type. So you can store the files into this data type. Okay, and coming back to your question, okay, I'll do one thing, SQL Plus. Okay, def is another command which will show you what is the today's date and what is the database name. As I told you, you don't have access to VDOL database and VDOL instance when you log in as Scott user. So if you want to know the database name, you can just issue the command def. It will show you the database name too. So if you see here, this is the today's date and this is the database name and this is the Scott user as which you logged into the database. And then it will also show you the Oracle version. Now let me exit from there and let me log in as this user. Okay. Whenever you are creating a database, you will select what kind of characters you want to store into the database. If you want to store the ASCII characters, if you want to store a different characters, for example, if you want to store a characters in a Chinese language, it will be different characters. So if you want to store those characters into the tables, then before creating the database itself, you have to decide the Chinese characters are present in which character set. So in a database, we will have character set. So you have to specify what type of character set you are using whenever you are creating the database, and you cannot change the character set. Once you build the database, you cannot change the character set. You need to rebuild the database again. That means you need to drop the database and you need to recreate it again with a different character set. So if you want to know what is the character set of your database, there is a view called as $NLS underscore parameters. This will show you what kind of character set this database is created with. So select parameter comma value from $NLS underscore parameters. Where? Okay. So if you see here, the NRS character set for this machine, for this database is WE8M Win 1252. That means whatever the characters allowed in this character set, all those characters can be inserted into the table if you declare a column with char or varchar. So you need to search in the Oracle documentation what kind of characters can be allowed with this character set. So depending upon that, you can store that type of characters into the table. Okay. Girish, do you have any questions?
Mohan? Mohan?
Yeah.
When can we use like, I mean, it's float and daytime also different, right? Daytime is different than date, right?
Daytime.
Yeah. I mean, I want to check like date and daytime is equal or not. The data type.
Date and
Date time.
there
Date
is
and
no
time.
there is no data type with the date time.
Oh, only date we have to use. Okay.
Yeah, but within the date code data type, within the date data type, you can store the time. I mean, like you can store the day, month,
Okay.
year, and also hour, minute, seconds.
Oh, we can store. I mean, we can use the only date only we can use. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
How about float?
What?
Float.
Floor?
Yeah,
Float.
float.
Float. Oh, okay, okay. Float. No. The number data type itself can store the integer values. Like so, even the decimal values can be stored in the number data type.
Okay. Yeah.
Mohan, I have one question. So regarding data, whenever we are suppose some create a database, right, in a server.
Mm-hmm.
So some date like the one field is like a modified date. Okay, whatever we have modified, anybody modify, so they the date is coming there. The what date coming? Actually, the server date coming, yeah, system date coming, yeah, UTC date coming.
Where?
Suppose some one field for a date. Table field is a date, right? And the data type also date.
Okay.
So like we are using something modify, something date modify. The automatically like some update field coming. Update field is like show like what date you are changing. So what dates they show? Update like UTC date, yeah, server date, yes, like whatever local client date.
Okay. It will be the server date. So if you look at date here, I'm executing the Unix command. If you look at the date, it is Sunday, April 7, 35. That is, it's an EST time.
Correct.
So if you want to check the date of Oracle database, you'll select sysdate from dual. This will show you the system date.
Dual, okay.
Yeah, even this will be showing the server. So it will take the whatever the timestamp, like it whether it is storing UTC values or whether it's storing EST or whether it's storing EST, depending upon the time zone or how the server has. If the server is created with CST time zone, you'll get a CST time. If the server is created with EST time zone, you'll get EST time zone.
Okay, but not like I understand like no, you live in EST zone, I live in central zones. So how they can like configure like its date?
No, you cannot configure the date within the database itself. You need to configure at the client side to display the time as central time.
Okay.
From the database, you'll get EST time zone only if the database is in EST. But in the client side, you need to configure in such a way that the time will be displayed in CST time zone.
Okay. Like now, my question is suppose like we are like here date like our server in US. Okay. So those dates show like in a EST zone and some like working is like also like India and anywhere, right? So that time something different to that,
No, no,
what
no.
those dates show, yeah, like EST dates show.
They will even for them it will be shown as EST time zone.
EST because server is here, that's why, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Any other questions?
That's all more. Yeah.
So these are the columns with employee table. And now if you look at EMP number of 4, that means this will this will only store non-decimal integers. And if you look at the commission column, this can also show decimal numbers. The maximum length in this data type commission, in this column commission, you can have digits up to 7. But after the decimal, you will have 2 digits. On a total length of 7 digits, the decimal numbers will be 2, and before dot, you will have 5 digits. Now, if you want to select information or if you want to fetch information from EMP table, select star from EMP. So by using this command, you'll get all the columns, all the rows which are present in EMP table. So if you see here, there are 14 rows which are present in EMP table and all the rows are displayed. But if you look at this one, the line size, because of the line size, the department number came into a different line. So we need to set the line size. So let me change the line size to 300. Now I'll execute the command. Okay. Now it's good, but still the 14 rows are not displayed under one header. If you look at the output, the 14 rows are not displayed on one header. You got 2 headers now. This is because of the page size. So in Oracle, there is also called as page size. You need to set the page size. The line size, you set it to 300 characters, and the page size is set to 10 lines or 10 rows. So that is the reason why after 10 rows you got again header and then rest of the rows. So you need to change the page size also. To change the page size, the command will be set page size space. For example, if I want to have 200 rows under one page, I'll give it as set page size 200. Now if I want to execute the command again, select star from EMP. Okay, now if you see, all the rows are displayed under one header. So this is a way you can set a line size and you can set a page size. Now if you look at the hire date column here, it is having only 17 December 80. It doesn't have the actual time when the employee is hired. So by default, the date data type column will show you only the output in the format of dd-mon-yy. If you want to see the information in a different format, for example, if you want to see that including the hours and minutes and seconds, you have to go for _char. _char is a function. Now star means you're fetching all the columns from EMP table. You are selecting all the columns from EMP table. Now hire date, I want to display it including the time. So to do that, I have to specify the column names here. I have to select EMP number, ename, job, manager, and then there is a function called as _char. Now we will specify hire date. After that, you have to specify in which format you want this value to be displayed in. For example, if I want to display this value in dd-mon-yyyy, so 4 digits with year, and then HH24 hours in 24-hour format, minutes, and then seconds. Okay, so while inserting the values, they haven't inserted the time. So they just inserted the dates. So that is the reason why the time shows as 000. They haven't used time. If they would have specified the time also when they insert the values, you'd have got the time here in hours, minutes, and seconds. So this is a way you can convert a date data type into a character format. 2_char means it will convert a date data type into a character format. So if you see here, high date is a date data type. It is converted into a characters. It is converted into a string. Now, whenever you are using a function, the column name is getting changed. So that means whatever the columns you are specifying, how you are referencing the columns in the select clause, in the same way the header will be displayed. So if you are using 2_char function, the header will be displayed with 2_char. Now, if you don't want the user to know that you used 2_char function, then you have to alias a column. So to alias a column, after this function, we specify as hire_date. So you are aliasing a name. Hire_date will be an alias for 2_char of hire date. Then salary, commission, department number from EMP. Okay, so if you see here, I misspelled. Instead of specifying department number, instead of O, I specify it as P. Now I have to edit this line. Either I can select till DEPTN and then paste it here and then type O, or else SQL Plus utility provides you some commands. One of them is C. C stands for change, and then DEPT NP slash DEPT NO. I want to change DEPT NP to DEPT NO. So C stands for change. Now this will change DEPT NP to DEPT NO. Now execute the command again. So if you want to execute the command, you just need to specify slash. Slash will execute the previous command. Okay. Actually, the slash will execute the command which is present in the buffer. I'll tell you what the buffer is and how to check the content of the buffer. For now, it will execute the command which is present in the SQL buffer. So slash will execute the command which is present in the buffer, and the command which is present in the buffer is this one, select EMP number ename. Now if you look at the header value, it says as hire_date. So in this way you can alias a column. Now within this output, if you want to filter the data, for example, if I want to get employees whose salary is more than $1,000, right now I'm getting the information of all the employees which are present in EMP table. Now if I want to get the information about the employees whose salary is more than $1,000, then I have to filter the data. To filter the data, we use where clause. So select star from EMP where salary is greater than 1000. So this will display the employees whose salary is more than 1000. So you'll get just 12 rows instead of 14 rows. So this is the way you can filter the data. By using where clause, you can filter the data. Now, if you look at the output, the employee name, it's in a zigzag format. Like first you got the Alan, then you got the Ward, then you got Jones, then Blake, Clark. Now if you want to display the information in a sorted order based upon your employee name, you'll use order by clause. So select star from EMP where salary greater than 1000, order by ename. So this will sort the information based upon ename. So now the information is sorted and returned. So using order by, you can sort the information. Using where, you can filter the data, and using order by, you can sort the information. Now, if you look at the output, department number 20, 1, 2, 3, department number 20 has 3 employees, department number 10 has 3 employees, and department number 30 has 5 employees. Now, I want to know the total salary paid to each and every department number. If you see here, the salary column will give me the salary paid to each and every employee. But now I want to know the total salary paid to each and every department. How much is the total salary paid to department number 20? How much is the total salary paid to department number 30? In a similar way for department number 10. So if I want to get that information, select here. I have to just select the department number because I just want to know the total salary paid to the department number. So in my select clause, I'll just specify the column name department number. After that, I have to sum up the salary because I want to know the total salary paid to each department. So I'll use sum of sal. Sum of sal is a group function which will sum up the salary values. Now, from EMP, where salary is greater than 1000, sorry, I'll do from EMP. After that, we have to group the information based upon the department numbers because I don't want to get the total salary paid to all the departments. I want to get the total salary paid to each and every department. That means while summing up the salary, I want to sum up based upon the department number, not based upon all the rows. So that is the reason why you have to specify group by clause. So if you see here, the total salary paid to department number 30 is 9,400. Total salary paid to department 20 is 10,875, and for department number 10 it is 8,750. So whenever you are using any group function, so group functions, examples of group functions are sum, max, min, average, count. Whenever you're using these group functions, and if you are selecting any columns with the group function, in this case I'm selecting department number. So whenever you are using a group function along with a column name in a group by clause, you have to specify the column name which is used along with the group function. So if you see here, I use department number along with the group function sum. So that is the reason why in the group by clause I have to specify department number. So by using group by clause, we can get this type of information if you want to get the total salary paid to each of the departments. Now, when I use the order by here, by default it will sort the information in an ascending fashion. If you want to sort the information in a descending fashion, DESC, that means display the output in descending order. Now the output will be displayed in descending order. By default it will be displayed in ascending. If you want to go for descending, you have to specify DESC keyword. Do you have any questions till now?
No more.
Now, if I want to know what are the roles an employee can take up in this company, so
Mohan, one small question.
yeah,
I mean, can we create the sequence number for this table? Is there any
sequence,
way? I
sequence.
mean, 1, 2, 3 rows. I mean,
Yes, we can create a
employee.
sequence. You want to create a sequence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can create a sequence. But can I
Rows
know?
numbers.
లేదు అంటే what is the purpose you want to create a sequence number now?
Just I want to check the, I mean, count of the records, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Right?
Oh, okay. If you want to know the number of records in this table,
Yeah.
for that we use select count of star from EMP.
Okay.
So this will give you the total number of rows which are present in the table.
Okay.
Mohan,
Yeah.
yes, I want questions like it's like I want to like look like you say here like a salary, right? Like a department 309400 salary, right?
Uh-huh.
So I have one question like like a department 30, like a 30, right?
Mhm.
What is like a highest salary and minimum like a highest salary, but highest like a highest salary, but like the 9400 is a 2 times comes. So how can we like route the query?
9400 will come 200 2 times. Why?
2 times, yeah.
Why it will come 2 times?
Not 2 times, but 2 times means not 2 times, but like let me like salary is a the like a same different person has same salary, right?
Yes.
So how can we like like we can it possible like we are like what the like this type of or not?
No, how the information should be displayed?
Yes, yes.
No.
Like a department number is 30
Mhm.
and sales like some salary is 9400
Okay.
and employee name is ward salesman.
Okay.
Okay. All salesmen. Second thing, same row 30 9400 and second name is like turner salesmen.
Okay.
That means the same salary there's like this so like a highest salary, whose person has highest salary?
No. The thing is like you'll get 2 rows will be displayed because both of them have the same salary, right?
Yes.
So 2 rows will be displayed. But
2 rows split one. Also
but the-
I want a department, all department have like what are highest salary. So those
Yeah.
name also what are highest, same amount, so I want to look this one amount.
yeah. So for example, select a name, comma department number,
Okay.
comma max of salary, comma max of minimum of salary from EMP. The problem, that's it. You don't need to specify anything here.
No, nothing,
But,
right.
but the problem will be you cannot use
Group by.
group by clause. We have to use a group by clause. Okay.
Correct.
But whenever you're using the group by clause,
Then also same error.
no. You'll not get the same error. Problem will be for Smith. It will group the values. Minimum salary is to 800. Maximum salary will also be 800 because it is grouping by e-name as well as department number now.
Okay, they show all the rows, right?
Yeah. So you cannot get that kind of information using a single statement. So what you have to do is, yeah. Do you have any other alternative?
Yeah, actually, no. The like my question is getting my like score is 3,000, right?
Yeah.
And another is like a fraud is also 3,000. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wanted like a maximum salary, like a particular each department. Those amounts show the like a e-name and like a this one, like both like a maximum salary show like all the total salary show the all the maximum salary is who's the highest salary. Like 100 is highest salary, right? Like department 10 at the highest, and who's next?
Yes.
So I want to like two names coming same name same salary is coming. So the output coming as that like name is different.
Yeah. This is the way we can get the information.
Can you put where department is equal to 20 maybe?
No, 1 second. I'll tell you.
Single row 800 more
Yeah.
than one rows.
This is what you want? If
Yes,
you see
I
here
want this
Scott,
like
if you want the
what?
Scott and Ford will be the highest salary employees. So that is the reason why you'll get the 2 rows.
Yes. 2 rows, yes.
So you have
So
to
like
get it
select
in this way.
now you can use a two query, right?
Yes.
Select number, select service, selection. Okay. Okay, so like this with all okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks. So what's the meaning of C/W/IN?
Yeah. Here I'm using, it's a SQL plus utility command. It's not a SQL command. It's a SQL plus utility command. C stands for change. So when there is equal to, I want to change it to in. The reason why I changed equal to in because equal to means it will expect only one value.
Okay.
But the thing is, this query is returning multiple rows.
Hmm.
In order to handle multiple rows, we have to specify in clause.
Okay.
Say for example now, if I want to get information about the employees who are in department number 20 and department number 10, then in the filter clause, select star from EMP, where department number equal to, I cannot specify 20, 30.
Right.
It can only take one value. It will expect only one value. So if you want to specify the list of values, we will use in clause and then we'll specify those values.
Correct. These are 20 and 30, correct.
Yeah. So in this way, we'll use the in clause. Whenever you are specifying in the filter criteria, whenever you're specifying a list of values, we have to use in operator.
So suppose I am writing like a, can you scroll up down?
Yeah, sure.
Suppose right now, suppose I write the query like this one, like only this one, so they no run, right?
What?
It's only the select EMP department number cell from the EMP where cell is equal to select cell. So right now I run the query, those queries run or not?
No, this query didn't run, right? It errored out.
No, first time is error, I see here. Then after you are fixing C/equal to in.
After that, the query ran. Slash.
Okay, so
I'll tell you. Wait, give me a minute. I'll tell you.
okay.
Yeah. So this is the way we'll specify list of values using in clause. Now, for example, if I want to modify the query, instead of 20 and 30, if I want to get the information about the employees who are working in department number 10 and 20. So I want to change 30 to 10. So the thing is, whenever you're writing a command, by default, it will be stored in a buffer. Now, if you want to list the content in the buffer, we use the command L. See, in the buffer, this command is present.
Yeah.
So every time the previously executed command will be stored in the buffer. Now you can modify the content which is present in the buffer using C option. C stands for change. Now C slash, I want to change 30 to 10. Now the 30 is changed to 10. The moment I issue this command, it will modify the content in the buffer and it will show the modified content which is present in the buffer. So after the modification, this is the content which is present in the buffer. After that, if you want to execute the command which is present in the buffer, we use slash. Slash will execute the command which is present in the buffer. Now you get the information about the employees who are working in department number 20 and department number 10. So instead of typing the the total command, I'm just issuing slash, which will take the content from the buffer and which will execute the command. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
For example, if you want to go for a range of values, if you want to know the information about the employees who are working in department number greater than 10, then using greater than option will just vary department number greater than 10. So by this way you can go for a range of values. By using less than or greater than, you can specify range of values. And then by using in clause, we can specify list of values. By using equal to, we can specify a value in the filter criteria. Now if you want to, now I want to display the information about the employees whose salary is more than 1000 and who has commission. If you look at the output, only 4 users have a commission. Rest of the user doesn't have any commission. Equal to means he has a commission, but null means they doesn't have any commission. This is null and this is 0. 0 has a different meaning and null has a different meaning. Null means nothing. 0 means it has something. So now the 4 employees have commission. I want to get the information about the employees whose salary is more than 1000 and who has commission. To get that, select star from EMP where where salary greater than 1000, and I want to satisfy both the conditions. One is this employee salary must be greater than 1000 and the other one is commission. Commission should not be null. So to do that, commission is not null. Whenever you are comparing a null value, you have to use is option, is operator. Is not null. So if you see here, I got the employees whose salary is greater than 1000 and who has commission. Whenever you are dealing with null values, you have to specify is not null or is null. For example, if I want to get the employees whose commission is null, then I'll go for select star from EMP where commission is null. So this is the way we need to handle null values. And if you want to combine the filter criteria, we use AND. If you want to satisfy both the conditions, we use AND. If you want to satisfy one of the condition, then instead of AND, we will use OR. Now, within this output, or say for example, select star from EMP. Now we have these many employees in the company. I want to know what are the different roles of each and every employee in the company. So the roles, I'll get it from job column, correct? So either employee is a clerk or a salesman or a manager or a president or an analyst. So I want to know what are the various types of roles an employee can have in this company. So to get that, I can just do select job from EMP. But the thing is, the values are repeated. Clerk, salesman, salesman, manager, salesman, manager. I don't want the values to be repeated. I want unique output. So to get a distinct value output, I have to use distinct clause. Select distinct job from EMP. Sorry. Okay. So now I got the distinct values. What are the distinct type of jobs an employee can work in? So either he can work as a clerk, or he can work as a salesman, or he can work as a president, or a manager, or an analyst. So distinct will be used to display only unique values. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you see here, the commission column has null values here. Now, if I don't want to display it as null value, if I want to display it as at least 0, whenever there is null value, if I want to display it as 0, so there is a function called as NVL. To handle null values, we have a function called as NVL. Using this function, we can handle the null values. So NVL of column name is commission here, comma, whenever the commission value is null, display it as 0. So select ename, EMP number, salary, job, hire date, NVL of commission comma 0 from EMP. So if you see here, instead of commission displayed as null, I'll get the value as 0. So NVL function will be used in that case. And remember, if the commission column data type is number, you cannot have a replace value as a character. For example, I cannot have NVL of commission comma, when the commission is null, display it as Mohan. I cannot have it. So the replacement value should be of same data type as the original column. So original column data type is number. So even the replacement value should be number, but not a character. Okay. Instead of 0, if I specify M, it will give me an error because it is expecting a number, but I have given a character. Now, for example, if I want to get the information about just the Scott user, select star from EMP where ename equal to, and remember, SQL queries are not case sensitive. You can either write it in small case or you can write it in uppercase. So string comparison will be done within the single quotes. Whenever you are doing a string comparison, you have to specify single quotes. Okay. Any questions till now?
No more. Good.
Next, select max of salary from EMP. So this will give you the maximum salary paid to an employee, 5,000. And if you want to go for a minimum salary, we'll go for minimum of salary from EMP. And select count of star from EMP. So all these are group functions: count, minimum, max, and sum. These 4 are the group functions available in Oracle. Max will give you the maximum value of the column, minimum will give you the minimum value of the column, and count will give you the total number of employees. For example, if I want to know how many employees are present in each and every department, then I'll go for select department number, count of star from EMP, group by department number. So on department number 30, I have 6 employees. In 20, I have 5, and in 10, I have 3 employees. Now, the hire date column is of type date. Now, if I want to get the employee who is hired on 28th September 81, if I want to get the employee who is hired on 28th September 81, select star from EMP, where hire date equal to, can I do this? Any guess?
What's that? Hire date equal to?
Single quote of, in single quote, I gave the date 20th September 81. Oh, do you want me to increase the font size?
This one.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So is this command okay, or do you think this will error out?
It's okay.
Okay. Yep. So even for the data type, you can go for single quote and you can make comparison. Next, what else I want to tell? Annual is done. Whatever is done between. Yeah. For example, if I want to get the information about the employees who are hired from 80 to 81. There are other employees who are hired on 87, and 82. I don't want to get those employees. I just want to get the employees who are hired between 1980 to 1981. So select star from EMP, where hire date between 01 Jan 80, sorry, and 01 Jan 82. So I'll get the employees who are employed between 80 to 81. So if you want to get the employees between so and so values, so you'll use between operator, between initial value and the last value. Now, for example, whenever the employee is a clerk, if I don't want to display the employee job as clerk, if I want to display it to some other value, For example, I want to display the clerk as an accountant. So to do that, we have a function now. emp number, ename, job, manager, hire date, sorry, job. Inside the job, we have to specify, we'll use a decode function here. Decode of job, comma, if the job is clerk, display it as accountant. So if you see here, wherever the job is clerk, it displayed as accountant. But for the rest of the values, it displayed as null. The reason is, in decode, you have to specify the default value also. If there is a clerk, display it as an accountant. But what is else condition? If if the job is not clerk, then display it as job only. You don't want to specify anything else. Then, sorry. So this is the way we'll use a decode function. It works like if else. If job is clerk, display it as accountant. If job is not clerk, if the condition doesn't met, display it as job only. The actual job is salesman manager for rest of them. So it will just display salesman manager and president and manager. Only for clerk, it will display it as accountant. Okay. If you want to go for if and else type of conditions, if you want to display, if you want to manipulate the data which is present in the table, you can use decode function. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So, any questions regarding decode function?
No.
Okay. Next, if you want to concatenate the columns, for example, I want to display the information in such a way that Smith is an accountant who is working on department number 20. Alan is a salesman who is working on department number 30. Ford is analyst who is working on department number 20. So if I want to display the information, if I want to display the output from this table in that format, we will use concatenation operation. So select, one second, what happened? Looks like this got stuck. Okay. Okay. Now this session is got terminated. Something happened and this session is got terminated. So I have to close this terminal. So that means I will not have the environmental variable set echo $_sid. It will be only session specific. So let me execute the script again. Now I can go back and log in as Scott user. Okay. Start from EMP. Again I have to change the line size and page size. Okay. Now I want to display the information in such a way that Smith is working as clerk in department number 20. So to do that, we use a concatenation. Select ename. After that, pipe is job working in department number from EMP. So like this we can do a concatenation, but let me put a space before is. So if you see here, we are adding a string of is, means we need to add a string because there is no is in the table. We don't have any is, so we need to add that string. So to add a string, that means we are concatenating to the existing column. So ename returns a string. To that we need to add is. So that is the reason why I will use pipe. Pipe means concatenate. Concatenate ename with is. After that job. After that working in, and then department number. Any questions in this one? Concatenation?
No.
Now the output of this command will give me the total employees who are present in each and every department, correct? But now I want to get the information about the employees who are present in the department number 20 and 30. I don't want to get the information about the total employees present in department number 10. Can any one of you tell me what needs to be modified in this query to get that information?
Where condition we can give?
Sir, can you
Where
repeat again?
I don't want department number 10 to be displayed. I don't want the total employees who are present in department number 10.
select department number, count from EMP, where department in.
Okay, here, yeah, you said is what you said is correct. We can use in clause, but the not clause, I mean, like if I go for not equal to 10, I'll get the rest of the values. So I can just give not equal to 10.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
After that, group by department number.
Yeah.
Okay, now the question is, the next question will be, I want to get the employees that I want to get the total number of employees present in each and every department, but I want to get information about the departments whose total number of employees are greater than 5. I want to get the department number whose total number of employees are greater than 5.
Yeah, select department number from EMP, where
Mm-hmm.
select count from EMP, where department, I mean,
Brackets
Okay.
greater than 10. Greater than 5.
Okay.
yeah,
After the where, what should I do?
It's greater than 5. This
where,
the count.
where
Mm-hmm.
another select statement like select
Okay. Okay.
count star from
Mm-hmm.
where no, count from EMP, where
No, sir. Where?
no, yeah.
where the department number
Greater than, yeah, department number.
Department number greater
bracket
than
bracket
bracket. Okay.
count
Wrong.
Count.
uh, no, the greater than
Okay.
Give me 1 minute.
in bracket select
Okay.
select
No.
depart
No.
no
I'll so select department number, comma count of star
Mhm.
from EMP,
Mhm.
group by department number.
Okay.
This will give you the department number and the total employees present in each and every department. But I want to know only the department who has employees greater than 5.
Yeah.
So to do that, having count of star greater than 5.
Yeah.
So whenever you're using a group function and you want to filter the information based upon the group function, then you have to use having. To filter a non-group function, we can use it in where clause itself. But to filter based upon the group function, we have to use having.
Okay.
This is how the having will be used if you want to filter based upon the group function. Next, what else? Yeah. For example, if you want to know the length of this string, by counting each and every character you can say, but if I want to know that, so select length of EMP number, length of ename from EMP, length. Okay. So by this you'll know that number of characters inside the string. So 5, 5, 4. Instead of EMP number, I'll display it as ename. That will be better. Yeah. Ename. Okay. Okay. So this is a way you can get the length of each and every string in the column by using length function. Now, if you want to display the information in the lower format, if you see the employee name is displayed in the upper characters. If you want to go for lower characters, we can just do select lower of ename from EMP. All will be in the lower characters. For example, if you want to only display the first character in capital and the rest of the characters in lower format, then we can go for init cap of ename from EMP. Only the first character will be in the capitals and the rest will be in the lowercase. Next, for example, if you want to get substring, for example, starting in all these rows, I want to get the string starting from second position to fourth position. That means I want to get a substring. So select substr of ename, comma, starting from second position, I want to get till fifth character from EMP. So starting from second position till fifth position, I got those values. So like this, you can get substring from a string. You can specify the starting position and ending position. If you don't specify the ending position, it will get till end of the string. If you don't specify 5 here, it will starting from second position, it will display till end of the string. Okay.
Okay.
Next, there is a table called as dual. If you select star from in Oracle database, there is a table called as dual. It's just a dummy table. It will just have a dummy value X. That's it. For example, if you want to get a system time or if you want to get a date, will you select sysdate from dual? It will give you the system date. Now, if you see here, it is not the time is not displayed. Only the date is displayed. The reason is there is a format or there is a parameter called as NLS underscore date underscore format. Show panel. Okay, this will not be displayed. Okay, we have to change this format. By default, this format will be of day, month, and year. So we have to change this one. Alter session set NLS underscore date underscore format equal to dd hyphen mon hyphen yy space hh24 colon mi colon seconds. Once the session is altered, if you want to execute the same command again, you'll get it including the time 4 to 59. So using alter session set, you can specify in which format you want the output from the data type by default. Or else you can also go ahead and use to underscore character. First let me change the session. Alter session set, I'll display it to ddmonYY. Now if I do select sysdate from dual, I'll get just the date, I'll not get the time. Now select to underscore char of sysdate comma dd mon yy hh24 miss from dual. Even this will give me the time. Either you can go for to underscore char or you can set the session level parameter NLS date format. Next, if you want to just check from the dual, if you do select 110 from dual, you'll just get 110. If you select 1000, 2000 from dual, you'll get 2000. It's just a dummy table, it doesn't have anything. Whatever the input you give, it will give the same output. Now select 100.1 from dual, it will give us 100.1. Select 100.1054 from dual. Okay, now select round off 100.1054 from dual. So this will round off the value. Round off 100.1054 means it will round up the value to the next higher value and it will just display it as 100. The same thing if you want to go for select round off 100.57 from dual.
What?
It will be, yeah.
Yeah. What is the actual definition of a select? What is select? Somebody select means what?
Select means you're selecting the data or so you're selecting the columns from the table. It's like projecting the columns.
Select means projecting the column, correct?
Yeah.
And what is like a select and a set? Set can you mention set round 100.10 is it acceptable, right?
Set?
SET set, huh?
No. No.
No, there is no command with set option. Set is an SQL Plus utility command. It's not a SQL command.
Oh, okay. So suppose you say select star like 100 from dual, right? So suppose select sub 100 and the close execute what result coming?
Can you repeat that again? Select?
Just select like a one any numeric value 100
Okay.
and just run it.
No, it will not give you anything. It needs to select from a table.
Okay. In tables, they are using a dual, right? Correct.
Yeah, yeah. So round function will round off the value. If the after the decimal, if the value is greater than 5 or 5 or greater than 5, it will round up the value to next higher value, which will be 101. But if you see for 100.1, after the decimal the value is less than 5, so that is the reason why it will round up the value to 100. Okay, it is similar to the mathematical function. So round, you have round, you also have seal. Even the seal will give you the next higher value, no matter what is the value after the decimal. 100.104 from Jewel, it will give the next higher value. See the difference between a round and a seal. Seal will round off the value to next higher value, but round, depending upon the value after the decimal, it will round up the value. In a similar way, we also have floor. And all these functions, you can use it along with the select clause when you are selecting the information from table. But I don't have any values to use this function in the table, so that is the reason I'm just using dual to explain you. So floor will lower the value. It works quite opposite to the seal. Okay, and also there is one more group function called as average. I forgot to tell you. If you want to get the average salary of the employee, just do select average salary from EMP. It will calculate the average salary and it will give it to you. So $2,073 is the average salary of the employee. So select clause or select command will usually of this form. Select, either you can go for star, that means select all the columns, or you can specify the column names what you want. For example, column 1 comma column 2. After that from, and then table name. After that order by or where, it depends. It depends on how the information should be displayed. Anything else? Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'll wind up the class and I'll continue on Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday at 8 p.m. right?
Yeah.
Okay then. Yeah. See you at 8.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ashish, do you want to stay back? Hello? Ashish?
If he's on phone, maybe unmute or something.
Mic is not working.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you asked me regarding that test, right? So did you unwrap the file and copy to SQL virtual machines? Type it in the chat. Okay, that's okay. Okay then, bye.
Mohan, 1 minute. I mean, is there any websites? I mean, just want to go through the theory part. Is there any preferred websites or in Oracle website only? When
No, I'll upload a PDF file into the Dropbox. You can go through that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.